vaccine update. So we are going to ask Carlos to join us. Carlos did have a session with me before, right, Tanner?
I don't know if we had a live session, but
Yeah,
I've been
I don't think so.
in a couple of sessions
So
with you.
Carlos is my younger version in United Medical, right? So Carlos, you are one of our senior client managers, right? Since 2014, you've been with us. So what we wanted to do, take an advantage of these live events, and while we are communicating with our patients, our employees, we also wanted to communicate with our clients and prospect clients as well. So as the only authorized user of Cerner SPM practice management system in the ambulatory setting, so it's kind of our obligation to tell people what we do. And last week we did the collection module of the SPM. And then today, Carlos is going to walk us through with the reporting piece. So if you're a medical office and if you're a provider looking for the SPM transition, this would be the time for you to watch some of our videos. And we are also available for Zoom meetings for those providers. So Carlos, I'm going to actually turn this over to you.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kamal. And yes, you mentioned I'm one of the senior client managers for the RCM team here at United Medical. And I'm going to be reviewing some of the reporting capabilities that SPM has and how we use them to run some of our day-to-day tasks and also to provide feedback to our clients. So as you mentioned, or as you might know, Kamal, SPM offers a variety of reports depending on the needs that the different providers have. However, today we just wanted to focus on the three types of reports that we use most at United Medical, which are the daily reporting, the monthly reporting, and the reporting that we do on the scheduling side. So another thing that we wanted to introduce in this meeting was QuickBase, which is an application development platform that we use on a day-to-day basis to do pretty much everything, from tracking our daily productivity in our departments to managing a variety of projects. We also gather all the information that we get from our PM systems, and we upload it into QuickBase to run some of our reports that we then provide to our clients.
So now the QuickBase is our business database. So we have different PM systems. In fact, right now we have 3 different PM systems. But we needed something like QuickBase for us to do certain things. And we were only able to do that at certain scale. So obviously 15 years ago, we didn't need it. But when we have more needs and complex businesses that we deal with, complex specialties that we deal with, so it was important for us to have an add-on business database. So right now we master QuickBase in a really high level where we are able to customize based on the changes that's happening in the healthcare. So now these reports you are going through, like these, some of them are hard-coded reports, right, Carlos? So tell us what's going on there.
Correct. Yeah. So here we have a couple of the reports that we run on a daily and monthly basis. Kamal, the one on the left is one of the reports that we use the most. It's used the most by our RCM team. This report is run on a daily basis to track the claim corrections that we do on the AR side. And we also use it to track our total payment amounts posted. The provider offices can also use this report to track charges, payments, and adjustments based on their needs. The report on the right side is the report that we run every end of month. And that report is used to track all the financial related items for the month for the provider's office. And it includes CPT counts, charges, payments, adjustments. And as you can see, it's very customizable. You can run procedure codes, the procedure codes that you want, specific categories based on the specific setup that we have for that practice. So these are 2 of the reports that we use the most on our end. Come on, if you want to go to the next slide.
Yep, I just need to delete what I put there.
That's fine. This report is The report on the left side is the scheduler report. It's reports that we use to track the appointments. And again, it can be customized based on the provider needs. I started getting more familiar with this report as the COVID-19 pandemic started, as we started using it to keep track of the practices that had a decrease in the number of appointments. And it kind of helped us identify which practices were staying a little bit behind with the number of appointments. And we try to push those practices to use telemedicine a little bit more.
And I think with having so many different specialties, we have right now, about 22, 23 different
23 different specialties.
That's important for us to utilize reports in, like the scheduling reports is different.
Correct. And on Kamal, if you want to go back to the previous slide, I just wanted to point something out really quick. With the different specialties that we have, we understand that each specialty requires a unique setup. So we kind of have to adapt the way that we do the reporting for those practices for some specialties. There might be some specialties like nephrology, a nephrology practice that they might need to see a report for a specific CPT code that a cardiology practice might not need.
Monthly dialysis report maybe, or
correct.
Home dialysis. Mm-hmm. And then certain things needs to be done in a way that this is not what it used to be, where the physician's family member works as an office manager and they can do the check-in, check-out and the billing when they have a little bit more time. It requires a high level education, and just so that we understand this is the revenue cycle management, not just simple billing claim process.
Correct. And we wanted to show a few of the reports that we share with our clients on a monthly basis. So if you want to go to the next slide, Kamal. Mm-hmm. So here we have a couple of them. This is the denial reports. The first one on the top, it shows the corrections. This is one of the reports that we share with our clients, and it shows the corrections for the previous month, the corrections that we made on our end, the RCM team. They go through the claim corrections and have these claims resubmitted. As you can see on this report, it's broken down by preventable type. So depending on the source of the denial, we categorize it and then we summarize it at the end of the month for the clients to see. As you can see here, we see a percentage for the previous month for this client. There was 50% of the corrections that we made were related to client preventable denials, mistakes that could be prevented on the office end. And if you see from January to March, there's been a constant decrease on these practices percentage in the client preventable denials, which is kind of what we're looking for. And again, we go through these reports on a monthly basis and try to provide our clients with feedback based on the type of denials that we're seeing.
So now I do want to make sure that we kind of explain this a little bit more. So these are our internal metrics, like internal categories. No one in the United States is utilizing these the way that we are utilizing them. So I actually established these in the last several years. So behind each of these numbers, there's a denial code attached to it. So this 335 is not we are not keying that number in. That's a summary report. So then it represents 335 different corrections. So the idea is for us to be able to tell this client, this actually is United Medical Clinic, if I'm not mistaken. So we categorize them as it's an office-based PCP. Why do we say office-based? Because there are some PCPs, they still go to the hospital, and in their denial comparison, Carlos, the issue of comparison is extremely important. Why? Is because you can compare, like the classic, like the apples to apples or apples to orange, like being able to compare similar, same time period, same everything. Like, for example, year 2020 is not going to be the year that's going to be compared to any other year because we have the pandemic, right? So when we say compare, we want to be able to compare the client with United Medical standards, with MGMA standards. Then we also want to compare them with their own peer averages, same type of group. So then these numbers would become more meaningful. Otherwise, you are just comparing apples to oranges, and guess what? They are going to be different.
Correct. And if you can see at the top of that report, Kamal, we have the average for the office days PCP. That's where we can kind of like show the client where they stand. It's 52.5% client parental denials. It seems for the month of March, for United Medical Clinic, that percentage was lower, which is what we're looking for.
All right.
Now, the report on the bottom side, Kamal, it gives you a break. If you want to go back to the previous slide, the report on the bottom side for the previous slide is it gives a breakdown of the client preventable denials by check-in, check-out, or office administration. And again, this is a summary report. And like you mentioned, each one of these denials codes that we have an origin, have a preventable type, and these reports allow us to break it down and identify where the issues or where the denials are coming from. So again, the majority of the denials and corrections that we made for this client during the month of March were coming from check-in related denials, which could be anything that's related to insurance eligibility, incorrect IDs being entered. Then 34.8% of the denials that we were seeing were related to checkout related denials, which could be incorrect place of service, incorrect CPT, incorrect diagnosis. And we use this to provide feedback to our clients based on what the issues are. Again, this report, it's even more detailed. It has the information on the denials and each specific denial. And now, Kamal, on this one, you can stay on this one.
Yeah, I did go a little bit too quick because, go ahead.
Correct. Yeah. So on this report, again, it's just broken down by each of the specific denial codes that we entered for that time gap, that time frame. And one of the main things that caught my eye when I was reviewing this report is one of the main issues that we had during the month of March for this specific practice was the COVID vaccine related denials. We have an issue in which there are some claims that are being billed for COVID vaccine that are being billed directly to a Medicare HMOs. These insurances don't accept those claims to be billed to them directly, and we have to bill them directly to Medicare. But again, yes, these are the correction codes. It's the list, and it just gives you a better detail of what's happening with the practice. Yeah, no.
So this is our trademark reports, and I just want to make sure that we put a disclosure out there, so then we do not want other billing companies, RCM companies to copy these. These are trademark of United Medical LLC. So I just want to point that out.
That's good. Come on, you want to go?
You have one more report, right?
Yeah, I have a couple more reports, and I just wanted to review quickly. These are charges and payments report. Again, we pulled this information from SPM, and we adapted and upload this information into QuickBase. And again, it just gives you a breakdown by month of the total payments, charges, and adjustments for both years. Again, these reports are fully customizable, and we can adapt them to the provider needs. It shows the total, like you're pointing out at the bottom, for both years. And the report on the bottom side, again, based on the customizations that we have, it shows the charges and payments by provider. Now, we blacked out the provider names for privacy reasons, but again, this will show the provider name and the provider types and the breakdown. I think this report is year to date, Kamal, so it gives the comparison 2020, 2021 charges and payments received for that specific provider. Correct. And I think we have one more report.
Can you see it? This is the type of service, right?
Yes, I can see it now. And again, based on the CPT
I think
code,
there's a slight delay, Carlos.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's this report again is based on the report class and the category of each CPT code. We gave a category and report class to each of the CPT codes that we have been uploading into QuickBase. And this gives you a breakdown by report class. And again, like I mentioned before, this report is year to date, and it gives you a comparison of both years, 2020 versus 2021, by the category of that specific CPT code.
So this was our second series of the SPM. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll have Best crew. She's going to be back. Richa Sabason will be back. So we are going to be actually updating a couple other sections of the RCM through SPM. Again, the SPM is, as we are the only authorized ambulatory reseller of this, and probably there is no one else in the United States know the system better than we do. And then there are some of our clients, potential clients in transition, and we would like to welcome them if they would like to utilize the services. So Carlos, thanks so much. So I'm sure we'll ask you to join us again sometime in the near future.